Internet, and welcome back to the channel. In this review we're going to have a look at the BMW R1250 GS and the overall ownership experience. So in this review I'm going to have a look at how the GS performs as a daily rider, towed up, its on-road performance, its off-road performance with a small R, how it performs in the slow riding, and what it's like on longer trips. So let's get cracking. Okay, so here I am in the wilds of Wiltshire, and let's have a talk about the R1200 GS as a daily rider. I don't know about you, but I need a few things in a daily rider, the first of which is that it's reliable. It starts every morning, the economy is good, and it's well behaved in traffic. I also need some gizzits and gadgets to have at hand when things are cold, and things like heated grips and seat heaters. And I like to listen to music or the radio when I'm riding, so being able to input my smartphone via Bluetooth and control it from the handlebars is always good. So how does the GS stack up as a daily rider? Well, in terms of reliability, the bike's never let me down. It's failed to start a couple of times through discharged battery, but that was not the bike's fault, that was my fault. I've got good fuel economy, I get about 55 to the gallon. Again, that's really determined by how I ride the bike. And in terms of usability, yeah, everything's easy to get to, everything works as it should. So I've given it a reliability score of 9, economy score of 10, and usability of 8. So the GS is a pretty good all-rounder as a daily rider. So what's the GS like in heavy traffic? Well, let's go and find out. And here we are on the infamous Wootton Bassett High Street. You can always guarantee this to be congested. So how does the GS perform here? Well, it's not too bad actually. Obviously the weight comes back once you stop moving. I've got 30-inch inside leg and I can just about get 2 feet on the floor. The bike's pretty well balanced and never gives me any dramas in slow traffic. However, that said, the clutch can be a little bit of a nuisance. It's got a very high biting point, and it can cause you to snatch if you're not aware of it. So new riders to the GS often complain about the weird clutch. However, I've never had any major problems with it. So now let's have a look at how the bike handles in a more adventurous environment. Well, here we are just over the back of Hackpen Hill in near Marlborough, and I'm just going to turn the bike into enduro mode. It's fairly easy to do. And so we've gone from dynamic road mode down to enduro mode, and now I've taken a bit of traction control off the rear wheel, and now we're heading down towards the back of Hackpen Hill down this nice little track. So sit back and enjoy. So as we proceed down this lane, there's one thing I'd just like to make clear. This bike is very capable on much more technical off-road than this. The key to any off-road is the tyres. Now I've got Michelin Anarchy Adventure tyres on this, which are a good 80-20 tyre. So most of my riding, 80% of which is on-road, 20% is off-road. So even though I've got mainly road bias tyres on here, there's no dramas at all on this sort of gravelly track. I do come down here in the winter when it's thick mud, and again, no dramas. So in enduro mode, the bike sets itself up for more of an off-road posture. It reduces the traction control, it reduces some of the ABS sensitivity on the front brake, I believe, and it reduces the throttle response. So coming down here in dynamic mode, you are going to potentially cause yourself some problems. So switching it into enduro mode just reduce the sensitivity of the throttle a wee bit. However, the rest of the bike is has been made for this sort of terrain, and it just takes it in its stride. So just coming up to the place where I'm going to pull over and just have a more realistic chat about the GS. But not many GS owners will bring their bikes down tracks like this, which is a real shame, because the bike is built for this sort of terrain. And okay, so I'm going to be pulling over in a moment to talk about how the GS, or how I've set my particular GS up. So here we go. So the overall ownership experience of the BMW R1250 GS. Let's be honest here. This bike is better in every aspect than my riding capabilities. So there is no limitation for me from this bike. It's in terms of ownership experience, I can't fault it. In fact, that's one of the real reasons I went with BMW. I bought this bike from North Oxfordshire BMW, and they have been superb, frankly. They're reasonable price for servicing. They give you a free cup of coffee, treat you like a human being when you turn up, not just a checkbook. And they deal with any recalls promptly. So in terms of ownership experience, can't fault the BMW. However, having said that, when I bought the thing, it came really as a road bike. The armour underneath it was really not up to scratch in terms of taking bashes, so the bash plate wasn't that good. The mirrors weren't brilliant. The handguards were rubbish. Did their job if you kept the bike on the road, but the moment you take it off road, no good. So I've put a few fettles onto the bike, so let's have a look at what I've let's start off with the Lone Rider headlight protector. I went with this one because A, it looks cool, but B, it really does improve the visibility of the bike on the road. I've also changed the stock handguards to these Bark Busters, and I went with the orange ones. Really is a nod to KTM, but also because you can they aid visibility on the road. I've changed the mirrors to the double take mirrors, mainly because when I had a spill, it spun a mirror, and I was out in the middle of nowhere and ended up with a smash mirror. So I don't like the BMW mirrors anyway. The double take ones are much better. I have mounted my iPhone on the quad lock mount. I found that to be absolutely superb, and no complaints there. I've changed the bash plate on the bottom there for the rider bash plate. I'll just give you a quick look. And the outrider bash plate protects the bike right back to beyond to the centre stand here. So all of the expensive exhaust headers and everything are well protected. And I've also gone with the Ricochet armour on the over the cylinder heads. On a previous bike I dropped it, and a stone ended up scratching the cover. It didn't break it, but it still scratched it. So I've also gone with the Moscow Moto soft luggage. As you can see, that's the mount. It mounts quite nicely onto the stock frame. However, when I am tooed up, I tend to use the aluminium bags. They've got a bit more capacity and provide the pillion passenger with some degree of security, albeit not very real security, to be honest. I've also put on armour around the bits that break off easily, like the rear brake reservoir, and also I've got the Alt Rider side stand protection. Oh dear. Okay, so in terms of ownership experience, this bike does everything I want it to do. It certainly is more capable than I am in all respects. So it provides me with a dilemma, and the dilemma is that every time I go to a motorbike showroom and see a bike I think I like, when I weigh it up against the GS, it just doesn't stack up. It doesn't make any sense for me to change the bike, which is good. But it's also a problem because it means I can't change my bike, or I don't change my bike. This is actually the 4th GS I've had, and I go through this pain every time of trying to figure out if there's a better bike on the market. In terms of off-road, the KTM's probably better. In terms of on-road, well, there's lots of better on-road bikes. But in terms of the complete package, there's not much, there is nothing in my opinion that will beat a BMW R1250 GS. So the R1250 GS then. When I set out to do this review, I wanted to look at it in terms of the ownership experience and usability. And this is what I came up with. As you can see, I'm in the green, the GS is in the blue. It exceeds my abilities in every area. And as such, it's the ideal bike for me. It might not be for you, but for me, it works in terms of a daily rider, two-up, on-road, off-road, and maintenance costs and everything. I hope this video has been of some value to you, and if you've liked it, you might consider subscribing to the channel and maybe following us on Instagram and Facebook. We also run a blog at www.adventuretek.uk. I hope you've enjoyed the video and it's given you some value, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. So goodbye for now.